Welcome back. This is video 19. This is our last video of our skeletal system unit. So today we get to talk about a really fun one. Today we get to talk about joint movements. While it's not as much fun to talk about it as to do it, you can look forward to that during our lecture or during our lab in class. So there are 6 pairs of joint movements that we're going to take a look at. We'll go over each one individually. They are flexion and extension, abduction and adduction. You'll hear me call them abduction and adduction. Pronation and supination, which you've heard me mention a few times in previous videos. Inversion and eversion. Dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. And then the last one we'll look at is rotation and circumduction. So all 6 pairs of these are not necessarily opposites of one another, but for quite a few. In fact, the first 5 are all going to be opposites of one another, and then rotation and circumduction are a little bit different. They aren't quite opposites of one another. So starting with flexion and extension. You may remember from our last video that flexion and extension are going to occur primarily in your hinge joints. So flexion is going to be when we bend some sort of joint and we reduce the angle of that joint from anatomical position. So extension going to be the opposite, straightening a joint or increasing the angle of a joint. So when you think about your elbow, if my arm is in anatomical position, my arm is straight, the elbow is fully extended. If I was to flex the elbow, I would move my arm in this direction. I have reduced the angle from 180 degrees down to whatever this angle is here. That is flexion. And then extension is just going to be the opposite. My arm is here. I'm going to extend it. Now note, it doesn't always have to be from or to anatomical position. Moving my arm from here to here is still flexion, and from here to here is still extension. So whatever direction you're doing, that one of them is going to be flexion, the other is extension. Then you have abduction and adduction. Again, I'll call these abduction and adduction. Sometimes it's really difficult to hear which one somebody says. These occur in several joint types. Primarily, you're going to see them in your shoulders and in your hips. Abduction is going to be when you move a part of the body laterally. Remember, laterally is away from the midline. So the way I like to think of this, whatever that body part is, it's being abducted from the midline. So it is moving away from the midline. If somebody abducts something, they take it away. Adduction, adduction, is going to be the opposite. The body part is going to move medially towards the midline, and so I like to think of it as you are adding that body part to the midline. Again, just like flexion and extension, it doesn't necessarily have to be from anatomical position to as far away as you can, or vice versa, but those are just the directions it goes. So you think in your shoulders, if you were abduct the shoulder or abduct the humerus, you're going to take it away from the midline. And then if I'm going to adduct the shoulder or adduct the humerus, I'm going to add it or move it towards the midline. So that is that pair. Pronation and supination, this is going to be specifically in your antebrachial region. When you pronate your hand, or when you pronate your forearm, what you're doing is you are putting your palm down. So you think if you were laying on your belly on the ground, that position is called the prone position. So that's where this gets its name, is you'd be laying on your belly with your hands like this, or if we were to look at it, if I was laying down here, my palm would be down. So pronation is palm down. And so if I'm starting in anatomical position and then I pronate my arm, it's going to go from here to here. That is pronation. And you can even extend it even further than just being palm down. But any motion that is moving that direction is pronation. In the pronated position, so the palm down position, the radius and ulna cross one another. So here, this is the other. So I'll pronate and kind of visualize this for you. Remember that the ulna is the pinky side. So the ulna is going to attach to the pinky side here, but it's going to also attach down here to this side of my arm. The radius is the thumb side, so you think that radius is going to sit right there. It has to cross all the way back to the lateral portion of my elbow. And so if you were to take an x-ray of my arm right now, you'd see the ulna coming in through here and the radius coming across this way. The radius would be on the back side here, but they would cross one another. Supination is going to be the opposite. You're going to twist your forearm, palm up. So if you're laying on your back, think you're sunning yourselves, you have your palms up. That is the supine position. So that is where this gets its name. The supine position is when you are in anatomical position. If you're in anatomical position, the hands are naturally supinated. Inversion and eversion, these are going to be specific to your ankles, your feet, ankles. Inversion is going to be when you roll your foot in. So you think the plantar portion of your foot, the sole of your foot, you're going to rotate it medially. So what happens is, like if you're standing on the lateral portion of your foot, this is a common way that somebody rolls their ankles. Their plantar portion of their foot will roll in when they roll their ankle. Usually some sort of sprain or something takes place when that happens. Eversion is going to be the opposite. You're going to roll the plantar portion of your foot laterally. You're going to roll it out to where you're standing on the medial portion of your foot. This is another way somebody can roll their ankles, albeit it is much less common. Usually when some sort of eversion occurs, you're going to get a much worse sprain, or even more likely some sort of fracture, avulsion fracture or something is going to take place with those bones and with those ligaments that are trying to hold your ankle intact. Dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. These are, again, specific to the feet and to the ankles. Dorsiflexion is when you pull your toes superiorly towards your shin. So you think if you rock back on your heels while you are standing, you are dorsiflexing your foot. And that's actually a really good stretch a lot of people will do, is that dorsiflexion. My lights just shut off because I've been doing too many of these videos and not moving. Plantar flexion, the opposite. You pull the toes away from the shin, so you pull the toes inferiorly. When you stand on your tiptoes, you are plantar flexing. If you are in a weights class and you're doing a calf raise, you're doing plantar flexion exercises. Then the last one is rotation and circumduction. Again, this is the only pair that they aren't really truly opposites of one another. Rotation is going to occur in pivot joints. Think like when you say yes, no. One bone usually is spinning relative to another. So you think in your atlato-axis joint, that atlas is moving compared to your axis. If you think in your elbow or in your knee, in your elbow, that ulna is moving while your humerus stays in place. In your knee, that tibia moves while your femur stays in place. Circumduction is going to be in your ball and socket joints. Circumduction is a very specific sequence of movements. What happens is the distal end of a bone, so think the distal end of the humerus, the distal end of the radius and ulna, are going to move in a circle around the proximal end. So what happens, I'm going to do this example in your shoulder here. If I was to flex my shoulder, I'm going to move my shoulder forward. So notice the proximal end, the humeral head, stays in place while the distal end of my humerus is moving. And then I'm going to abduct. And then I'm going to extend, extend opposite of flexion, moving my shoulder back. And then I'm going to adduct back to the midline of my body. So you do it all at once. Really what you're doing is arm circles or hip circles, depending on which ball and socket joint you're doing. But it's I flex, I abduct, I extend, and then I adduct, kind of all going in sequence here. That is circumduction. So those are the 6 pairs of joint movements that we'll talk about in class. Again, we will be doing our lab over joint movements. We'll get to play physical therapist. We'll get to measure a lot of these to see maybe who's the most flexible and to get some practice. Maybe those of you, usually students tend to have, I see more students tending to want to go into physical therapy than most other fields outside of maybe nursing. So this is a really good lab for everybody to kind of start to get the feel of what it might be like.